also very young, just like Beasley. They're both good. But then they add in Big Z, which would take another, refill that post presence that Phoenix has lost. And in Cleveland, with LeBron running the game, you can have LeBron dish it to Amari when he gets double teamed. You could have LeBron slash, go for the alley-oop to Amari, or you could have Amari run the floor when you don't have LeBron there as your primary scorer. Amari could be your down low, your presence that they don't really have as a second scorer.
All right, well, I'm going to have to go with Jeff on this one. I think Miami should get him because they need, I think they deserve him. So. And lastly, with the Olympics going strong right now, what do you think the most exciting event is and why?
Hands down, it's speed skating. I mean, come on, you can't not like watching speed skating. There's so much excitement every single turn. You never know if someone's gonna fall. The one with Apollo Ono getting the silver medal, you saw the South Korea had first, second, and third place locked up, but it's the guy in second place cut into third place. They crash. Never know if that's gonna happen. Apollo Ono comes and gets a silver medal. In the long track, the person who starts out in front in the 5,000 meter, they could be the one who ends up being the last place in that specific run. It's just so exciting. Things can happen all the time. You never know. And just the amount of athleticism they show by being in that event is amazing to me.
Yeah, speed skating, but not just speed skating in general. I like just really the short track speed skating. I mean, it really is a sprint on ice. I mean, every turn matters. I mean, anything can go wrong at any moment in time. And like you mentioned, Apollo Anton Ono looked like he had no shot in the medal. I mean, he's just skating, cruising in. I mean, he's almost jogging into the finish line. All of a sudden, two guys fighting for that silver medal. One guy takes out the other guy, sliding into the wall. I remember previous Olympics, a guy slides into the wall, cuts his thigh with his skate. I mean, there's not a lot of Olympic sports where you get to see blood, and I think that's what draws in the Americans to the short track.
Well, back to 2002, Apollo Ono also crashed, but they gave him the gold medal because they say his path was impeded, and he was touched by the skater in front, and that's how he got the gold medal. So it was all stripped. So you never know what will happen in speed skating.
Yeah, it's a very technical sport, and there's a lot of things that go into it, like all of the Winter Olympic sports that most sports fans aren't aware of because you just don't watch these sports all the time. It's every 4 years. There's a lot of things you're not aware of, and short track really gets the best of the Olympics going, and it's really exciting to watch through and through.
All right, well, I like ice skating the most. I'm going to have to go with Bruce on this one. Fast speed skating is very exciting, and as you saw, this Olympics, Apollo Ono just barely made it through on the, blade of his skate. So, well, that's all for this edition of Face Off. Now let's toss it back to President Dom in the studio.
Oh, welcome back. It's about that time of year again. The smell of Major League Baseball spring training is in the air, and Cougar Baseball kicks off their season this weekend against Seattle U. Our Michelle Ludka caught up with the team to see what they've been doing in preparation for the new season.
Large bid for the NCAA tournament. While the excitement was short-lived, the memory has left the WSU baseball team wanting more and looking for it in places other than on the field. For the past 6 months, the Cougars could be found 6 mornings out of the week in the weight room with Assistant Director for Strength and Condition, Corey Metzger-Deacon.
Baseball's program is designed to develop overall power, strength, flexibility, fitness base, core strength, rotational power, and speed, agility.
In addition to the overall conditioning, the team is taking preventative measures to assure the players will come out swinging as soon as the season begins. As athletic trainer Chris Lang tells us, the adequate steps begin long before the players hit the field.
They come in, an hour or two before practice. We do a lot of heating activities, stretching. They do some rotator cuff exercises and work on their lower body and their lower half with their core and their legs and stuff too. Same thing with the shoulders, with keeping their shoulders stretched out and strong.
Another factor in the team's performance will be the leadership shown by the senior members of the team.
A couple guys that stuck out would be the Michael Webbers, the Matt Finellis of the world, Michael Radigan, Connor Lambert, Seth Harvey. Those are the guys that can really help us and continue to that trend what our seniors did last year with the guys, the success that they had.
And how do all these things add up for the outlook of the program?
Good job, guys. Can't get any better than that.
In a way, I think our club's a little bit more talented. It's a little bit more athletic, especially offensively. It's the type of team I've always wanted to coach here.
Reporting for Inside the Lines, I'm Michelle Ledka.
Well, Mr. Preston, a lot of exciting things happened last year with the baseball team. This year, do we have any shot at getting back to Omaha?
Well, you know what? There's a chance of it. I mean, the hitting's kind of gone away. Jared Prince, Greg LeGreed, Paul Grant, all those guys are gone now, but they certainly have the pitching to do it, so let's see if they can.
Fair enough. Well, friends, now we're going to head up to the Cub, where our Jen Hollenbach will be interviewing students for us.
Athletic director of the past 10 years, Jim Sterk, is departing over to San Diego State. How do you think this is going to affect the WSU athletics?
It will definitely affect it a little bit, you know, I mean, being an athletic director and just leaving. But I think if we look at this as an opportunity, not necessarily like a setback, more to get someone new and get new ideas out there, new ways to get new recruits, so to speak, something like that. I mean, I see this more just a basic opportunity more than a setback.
Well, I think it'll help. I think the football team kind of went up and down while he was here, so maybe get someone in here that has even more experience with that area, so we can just continue to move forward. But I definitely think that Jim definitely helped out our sports. Basketball definitely flourished when he was here, so definitely looking forward to getting someone new in here to get some new looks and some improvements, I guess.
I think in the future it'll affect it in the future by the fact that, you know, we're always looking for room for improvement, and, you know, it's definitely going to hurt to see him leave, but at the same time, you know, there's always that possibility that we could become better, and you know, you never know. It's a plus, and we're going to go with the flow and just see how Will Moose does.
I don't know. I really think Sterk did a great job while he was here at WSU. So I think it's going to be a struggle to find someone that can fill his shoes. But I'm confident that President Floyd can find someone that hopefully will live up to what Sterk has done for a lot of the sports programs here at WSU.
Well, weekend in basketball coming up. NCAA is out of the question. NIT might be out of the question. What do they have to do this weekend just to keep the CBI in front of them?
CBI is a joke to me. I don't even like that thought. My issue is last week I had faith in the Cougs. Riley said they weren't going anywhere. I said, no, we're going to turn it around. And we've shown the ability to get up on games, up against the teams we're playing against some quality opponents. Unfortunately, we can't close in the second half. So it's tough to say. A lot of people are getting on Coach Bowen right now, which I don't think is the right thing. I think a lot of it has to do with the young team that we have. But I do think we have a shot this weekend. Both UCLA and USC are down this year. They're two. One of them was a nationally televised game against UCLA, webcasting on Saturday game. I think there's potential for us to come away with 2 wins. Unfortunately, I also think there's potential for us to come away with 0.
Just remember, folks, out of 320 teams in the NCAA, the Cougars are the youngest of all of them. They're young, they're inexperienced, their coach is inexperienced. He's young along with them. He's not an old guy. And you know what? That's all I have for you on this episode of Inside the Lines. Thank you so much for being here. I'm still Michael Preston. A little bit. I don't know. You know, that may change tomorrow or something. I could go out and get a name change, something like that. I mean, you know, it could happen.
Real quick, women's team, are they going to pull away a W this weekend?
You know what? I don't think so. UCLA and USC are 2 very good teams, and they struggled to get to them at home. I apologize for saying that. That was just bad. But earlier, but you know, they're 2 very good teams, and you know, they won on the road at Arizona State, but I just don't see it happening. They're too young. Just like the men's team, they're also very young. They're the 6th youngest in the NCAA. And, but I think players like Jasmine Perkins, April Cook, my biggest thing with them is they're great players, but it's their shot selection. It is just not tremendously good.
Do you think part of the reason Jim Sterk may have left for San Diego State is because the few programs that he was having success in, mainly the 2 basketball programs as of late, have struggled? How much of that do you think played into
I don't
his
think it
decision?
was too much of it. He knows he knows they're coming back, and he knows they're on the uptick and such, but I think it was leave before I could get fired.
All right, fantastic. For Michael Preston, I'm Dominic Shell, and thanks for joining us, everyone.
Now I can say I'm Michael Preston. Whoopee-doo. That was bad.